Listening to an audiobook whilst doing chores makes the time fly by. And honestly, who wouldn't want to be entertained whilst doing chores? So, I have got some recommendations for you for those moments when you can't put them off any longer, but you actually look forward to doing your chores. And I'm not joking because these audiobooks are that good that you will be highly entertained no matter what it is you are doing, whether that's laundry, washing up, whatever it is you have to do. Pop on an audiobook and honestly, it will change the game. Hey guys, it's Deb. If you are new, then welcome to my channel. If you are not, then welcome back. Today I'm going to be giving you all some really amazing audiobook recommendations. Honestly, I am in my audiobook era. I am loving audiobooks and I just feel like I am quite surprised by that. I always thought I'm very much a paperback girl. I need to feel the book, read the book, and just have the physical copy. So the fact that I love an audiobook is just game changing. It is so much fun. And I thought I had to put you guys on to some great audiobooks. If you are new to audiobooks, or if you do have audiobooks but you're not really someone who thinks you'll like them, trust me, if you give these books a chance, then you might be converted. So starting off strong, we have got A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Now, this book is definitely a book you can just read the paperback form and you will still have an amazing experience. It's got mixed media, so you've got transcripts, you've got text messages, you've got a lot of cool things to see in the book. But you add the audio version to it and you've got something quite special. So what I did was I listened to the audiobook and I followed along with the paperback copy as well. And I just sped up the narrator and that was the sweet spot. Honestly, it made the reading experience so dynamic. It felt like the suspense was being built amazingly, but you still got to see the mixed media, so you didn't get to miss out on that. However, if you didn't have the physical copy, you would still enjoy it because the way they do the mixed media, they have like sound effects and things, so it's really obvious something has changed in the book. And honestly, it's so cool. So a quick little description of The Girl's Guide to Murder. It is a book about a girl who is trying to uncover a mystery of a murder and she doesn't believe the person that's been accused of murdering this girl actually did it. So she goes and does an investigation to try and prove or disprove her theory. And it is such a good YA book. Honestly, even if you don't think you'd like YA, give it a go because it is gripping and it's just so good with the audiobook. The suspense and the mystery built up is A plus, and I really like the narrator's voice. The next recommendations I have, it will be of no surprise to any of you who have watched my channel before, because I think these two books are the ones that really got me into audiobooks, and they are books by Taylor Jenkins Reid. The first one being Daisy Jones and the Six. This book I exclusively listened to. I didn't even buy the paperback copy until I'd already finished the book, and I loved it and I was not expecting to love it. When I first heard what it was about, I wasn't really excited. I was like, okay, cool, a band, you know, big deal. That was absolutely wrong. And the audiobook is what brings it to life because it has got 6 different voice actors, maybe even more, that really bring the characters to life and you feel like you are actually watching a show, but it's all in your head. But their voices are just fantastic. The voice acting is phenomenal, and they've got people who have been on The L Word, if you've ever watched that. There's a voice actor who was in Orange is the New Black. There are just so many incredible actresses and actors who are doing the voices of these characters that you will have the best time. You literally grow to think these characters are real because the actors bring them to life. And not only does the audiobook have amazing actors and actresses, it makes sense. The whole book itself is done in an interview style. We are finding out about Daisy Jones and the Six, a band, and how they came to be and what happened in their journey of becoming so successful and one of the biggest bands in that era. So you get to actually listen to it like it's a real life interview, which makes it seem so realistic and it makes it so much fun. I think if I'm remembering correctly, there's also the actual songs. You get to hear, I think, one or two at the end of the book, which was so, so cool. It is obviously now a Prime show, so you can watch it, but I genuinely have been watching it and I don't think I'm enjoying it any more than I enjoyed the audiobook. So that goes to show how great it was. 100% a 5-star read. So, so, so good. So gripping, and I just don't think anyone would regret listening to it. The next book is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, still by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and it's a little bit similar to Daisy Jones and the Six, only because there is also that style of interviewing. So we've got a reporter slash writer who is interviewing a famous actress, Evelyn Hugo, and basically finding out how come she has so many husbands and who was the love of her life. And the actress, Evelyn Hugo's voice is, wow, she sounds like a movie star. She honestly, for me, brought the book to life. Now, I think you would still enjoy this book if you just read it, the paperback version, but listening to the audiobook, just like in Daisy Jones and the Six, brings the characters to a whole new level. It feels like you are actually listening to someone interviewing a famous actress, and it just makes it so interesting and you get so much more invested in finding out what happened. I actually listened to this book whilst I was doing a deep clean of my house, and I was enjoying cleaning, guys. I enjoyed doing the laundry, folding the clothes, putting it all away. I was taking my time because I had to listen to the audiobook, and I was just going through my house like, oh, no. Literally, that was a reenactment of what I was doing with my laundry basket and the clothes, walking around my house, just absolutely gobsmacked, shocked at some revelations that happened during the book. And I think that made it just, such a fun time. So next I have got The Passengers by John Mars. Now I've got a whole video dedicated to this book and audiobook because once again, this kind of book just lends itself so much more to the audiobook space. It's just amazingly done in audiobook form because once again, every character has their own voice. And this book has a lot of characters. The Passengers is about 8 passengers who get trapped in their self-driving cars because of a hacker. And they are basically told that they are driving to their deaths. And so the public and a jury has to decide on what passenger they would like to save. And all of these passengers are so different. They're different ages, they're different ethnicities, they're different, just everything you can think of is different about them. So hearing that in their voices and the way that they act was so much fun, and I don't think I could have had a better time reading it physically than I did listening to it. Not only to say that this book is so thrilling, you are on the edge of your seat as you are reading it, and I know what I am like. I would be skimming so quickly to try and figure out what the big reveal is, why it's happened, and having an audiobook just made you build up that suspense so much more. Just had such a bigger impact on when you finally found out why or who or what is going on. Listening to the audiobook was so cool. Not only that, but there's like little news segments, they have like a whole jingle, there are sound effects once again. It honestly just brings the whole book to life, that you forget it's a book and not just a film in your head. Would 100% recommend it. I gave it a 5-star. I am open to it being maybe a little bit less than the 5-star. If I had read it on a paperback form, maybe I would have given it maybe a 4.5 or a 4.25. But the audiobook for me really just gave it that chef's kiss. So good. So next I have got Rebecca Ross's duology of Divine Rivals and Ruthless Vows. And guys, I did not really expect to love this as an audiobook as much as I did, because honestly, I never would have thought to actually listen to it. But for some reason, I was just feeling a little bit lazy. I was kind of in a bit of a slump. So I thought, I want to read it, but I'll listen to it to get me through it quicker. Wow, that was such a good decision. In Divine Rivals, we've got a dual perspective. We have got Iris Winnow and we have got Roman Kit. And so in the audiobook, we have got 2 voice actors, an actress for Iris and an actor for Roman. And their voices just brought this book to life. Like, let me tell you, if you have a thing for a British accent, then you will absolutely love this book. Now, I am British, so I don't really think I have a thing for the accent, but I apparently do, because in this book, I loved their voices. I thought it just added some elements to the historic romance vibe of the book and made it come alive. Now, Divine Rivals is a fantasy book, but a very, very accessible fantasy book. I think anyone could read it, even if you're not normally a fantasy reader. And it is essentially about our main character, Iris, whose brother enlists in a war between 2 gods, and she starts to write him letters. But she realises her typewriter is magic because it sends letters through a wardrobe. And she also finds out that her letters are not going to her brother, they're going to her rival, Roman. And you follow them on such an adventure, such a journey through war, through competitiveness of their jobs, through really hard moments with their family. And honestly, it brought me to tears. I was sobbing, especially during Ruthless Vows. The ending of that book really, really hit home to me. I don't know why, but I broke down. And I think the audiobook added to that emotional reaction. The characters just feel so much more real when you can hear their voices, and they do such a good job at making you believe that that actress reading Iris is Iris. Honestly, great voices, and there isn't really anything like special effects or special sounds. It is honestly just the voice acting that brought it to life for me. I also read along as I listened to the audiobook, and honestly, again, like with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder, I found that to be the sweet spot for me. I really enjoyed doing that. I thought it made it more fun. And honestly, I would really say, if you have read Divine Rivals, try the audiobook. I want to know what you think. And if you haven't read it, again, I would say try the audiobook or try doing both at the same time. It really worked a treat for me. So the next book I've not actually finished yet, I'm just starting it, but I already know I'm about to love it. I started it after watching or reading The Passengers, and I was like, I need more of John Mars. His book just, amazing. So I found a book called The One by him. It's basically about this way of finding the one for you through a DNA testing, and how much damage it could do, but also how much amazingness it could do. And you follow lots of different characters who decide, do you know what? I'm going to submit my DNA and I want to find out who is the one for me. And wow. Let's just say one of the main characters is a serial killer, and he is trying to find his one. It is wild. It is, you cannot make it up. It is wild. And I think that listening to the audiobook is making it that much more insane that I am just hooked. I am enjoying it so much so far. There's obviously more characters as well. I've not gotten far enough into it to figure out how many there are, but it's at least 5 or 6 I've heard from so far. And again, hearing the voice actors of the characters just brings them to life in such a fun way that I would say it's probably going to be just as good as The Passengers. So I wanted to wrap up my recommendations with some autobiographies because I think they are so interesting to listen to, especially when it is the person themselves narrating the book. And I listened to I'm Glad My Mum Died by Jeanette McCurdy, and that book was, oh my goodness, it was such a journey. I felt so sad at parts. It really is quite a hard listen at some points. What she goes through is, you know, obviously really, really traumatic for her. But the way she narrates it, she adds a little bit of a comedic spin in some places that I might not have picked up on if I had just read the book. And why would you choose to read the book when you can hear the person themselves who it's their life read it to you or narrate it for you? Honestly, I would just much rather listen to them because it felt like I was watching an interview with them or watching, you know, them talk about their lives on TV, but it was their words and how they want it to come across. I haven't yet finished listening to the other ones I am reading as well. I'm currently listening to Becoming Michelle. I think it's called Becoming actually by Michelle Obama. I want to listen to Friends, or what's it called? Friends, Lovers, and One Big Terrible Thing. Again, I think listening to those books and having Michelle and Matthew narrate their own life stories will just add an element that nothing I could do reading the paperback version could do. So, of course, I will listen to the audiobook. Of course. Those are all of the books that I have enjoyed listening to audibly so far. I have absolutely loved having Spotify supply books in their premium subscription bundle. It has been such a game changer. I do wish that they made how much you could read a little bit longer, but I guess they've given it included, so I can't complain. But yeah, I think you can do about one book a month really, unless you read really short books, because I think it's about 12 hours you're allowed, but I'm not too sure. And I actually have just been given by Audible 3 months, 99p I think it was, and I was like, yeah, sign me up. So if you have got any books that you would recommend to listen to an audiobook, then please let me know. I am loving audiobooks so far, so I would love to have more in my collection. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are still here and you did enjoy it, then it would mean the world to me if you would subscribe and also comment something. If you're not sure what to comment, then maybe do a headphone emoji or a headphone emoji with a book maybe, that would be cute. And I'll hopefully see you in the next one. Bye guys!